Vlad, Roger, thank you so much for joining us. So it's been about 2 years since GenAI took the world by storm, a year since you were both here at AWS talking about it. Roger, where are we now? What are you seeing?
Well, thanks for the question. It's great to be back. I think it's a super fun space, but if I say what's happening in generative AI, I'd break it into the macro and to the micro. I think at a macro level, what we've seen over the past year is those that have adopted this technology at scale are now really seeing profound benefits in their business. But that benefit is not spread evenly. And so different companies are accelerating that faster and slower. I just highlight, we've had BCG as a partner on helping us on our own GenAI adoption journey. We've taken $1.5 billion of productivity gains from adopting GenAI with a lot of expertise in coaching with BCG as well. At the micro level, we've seen the adoption of this technology get into so many new technical obstacles, tech complexities to go from the big idea to actually implementing in enterprise workflows. And I think it's great to see the acceleration of innovation to get from that promise to the potential. And we can just happy to dig in on all the tech that's making that real.
So Vlad, zooming out on the macro, what are some themes you're noticing?
Yeah, so one of my favorite questions is like which industries are winning here and by default are early adopters, right? And to what Roger said, from the macro level, we're seeing winners across the board in every single industry. In every single industry, there is someone doing cutting edge things with Gen AI and AI in general and are leaning in. And some of the factors at the macro level is in the first place, the level of ambition, right? So Roger mentioned the work we've done jointly at IBM. It starts from the top, right? If we're going to lean in as a company and then commit to the whole motion and not view it as a project and a one-off effort, but actually rewiring the DNA and the operating model of the company and deploy things at scale, you actually get the right forcing function and the drumbeat to go and deploy a lot of these things. So those would be a few reflections at the macro level.
So for both of you, this next question, let's look at the micro. What are you seeing?
Maybe I'll go first. I think what we're seeing is the acceleration of innovation to tackle these obstacles. So I just highlight a few in our business. We've seen a lot of questions around what is the data that goes into these models and can I trust it in deploying it to my business? Does it create copyright infringement? Things like that. That's why we've, over the last year, really gone all in on open source with open sourcing our Granite models family, Apache 2 license, full use rights for enterprises that choose to adopt it. We've also gone into tuning techniques that switch on more use cases. So what we've done with something called Instruct Lab, where we had the BCG team actually kick the tires to validate this. It's creating equivalent performance to the best models in the world at a lower price, but more importantly, adding capabilities to the models that allow them to be better deliver those workflows. And the last thing I'd highlight at the micro is we've invested a lot for years, but really in our product set around AI governance. So as you take this technology and scale it into production, it's done in a way that you actually can rely on as a business. And that can be if you're in Europe dealing with regulations, or if you're in other parts of the world and just want to be responsible in the deployment of the technology. I just highlight those three as several of many ways that we're knocking down these micro obstacles to get to the profound impact that this technology can have.
Yeah, and from my end, I would add these are a lot of technical components, and this is where we collaborate really well together. There is a human component to the equation where getting the domain experts that know how to filter to which data matters, to sanity check the outputs, and embedding them in the workflows is one of the micro or technical components that companies that do it well figure out how to crack and embed in the workflow. And the second one is rethinking the workflows. So with great examples from Roger, where like we can take some things from months down to minutes, literally right now, it's this technology. But if we don't then act on that information in minute increments, then it was wasted, right? So if we're still acting on it only once a month, the bottleneck was something else. It was never on how do we unlock this data and use it. So the companies that can identify those bottlenecks and then change the workflow to act on the data at speed that it's available is where we see big unlocks on the tactical level.
And real quick, the partnerships, talking about that, you're saying that it's really important when it comes to Gen AI adoption. You were saying that every player needs a coach.
Yeah. I mean, I think people ask us, why did you have BCG help you with your AI adoption? I think you use the metaphor, but every great player has a coach that helps them through that journey. I think that expertise that BCG brought on what great looks like across the world and what that future process Vlad was talking about paired with our AI teams to say, what is the technical possibility? It's those partnerships that GenAI is so massive. No one company is going to be able to do it themselves. Thinking about the right partners that help navigate that journey together has been, for us, it's driven incredible outcomes. And now we're doing it together with joint clients around the world.
Thank you so much for joining us.